Hey friends, today we are going to do an oil change in the Polaris Sportsman. Put the plow on. I'm going to show you how easy it is to put a plow on that as well. It is freaking freezing and insanely windy today. So, well, let's go uncover this quad and get her ripping. This cover, the tough cover, for a no-name cover, has been really good. I'm really impressed with this thing. It's out in the sun every day. And it's about 1.5 years old at this point. You can see it's still in pretty good shape. One thing that did break was this little underbelly clip. I think it froze to the ground, but it still works. "28 degrees. Yikes. So to get the oil to flow proper, we're going to drive it around a bit, even though it's absolutely freezing, but to heat up the oil and make sure we get everything out and it drains out nicely. So let's go. You can see engine temps up to 162. That should be good. All right, for this service, you don't need a whole lot. Polaris conveniently packages everything, oil and filter, into one little package you can buy on Amazon, Walmart, get in a number of different places. But the right oil's in here. You're gonna need some sort of light, some paper towels, probably some work gloves, some nitrile gloves, a ratchet with a 6mm Allen, because that's what the oil plug actually is. Long neck funnel is key. You really need one of these things to get the oil in there because it's a pain in the butt. And you need an oil filter wrench because they put the oil filter in a really tough spot. You can get that from Polaris. You can get it on Amazon too. I unfortunately don't have it. What I do have is one from my wife's old Toyota, which I believe gets just enough purchase on there to get the filter off, to at least loosen it and tighten it completely. And you can also do one of these adjustable guys too. And then I also have the owner's manual, and I printed out a maintenance log for myself so that I could keep track of everything. And that's it. Let's get into it and let's get this oil changed. All right, one of the first things I like to do is take the seat off just to give myself a little extra light in there. And the cover for the oil plug, oil dipstick rather. Take this guy out. Let's take a look at the oil that's in there. It's not too dirty, not half bad, but it's more than due. Service-wise, it's not really due, but it's been a while since I changed the oil, so I'm gonna do it anyway. Plowing puts a bit of extra strain on things. One thing I forgot to mention you are gonna need is obviously an oil drain pan to put under there. And it's a little bit tight. I'm tempted to put it up on ramps. That right there is the oil drain plug. So you can see it's in a bit of a tight spot. So what I like to do is loosen it a little bit and then sneak the oil drain pan under there because there's not a lot of clearance. I actually think sometimes in the past I've used a disposable paint tray to catch the oil and then just dump it into the oil catch pan. All right. I inevitably spill something, but we'll see. I wish they put this in a little more user-friendly spot, but it is what it is. So I like to crack it usually. Ugh. And then get the catch pan under there and then remove it. See if we can get a little better angle. And there she goes. All right, we'll let that drain. And once it's done, we will address the oil filter. All right, well, you can see the oil filter is in a really, really sucky spot. I mean, ideally, I guess you could take this engine mount off to get better access to it, but who wants to deal with that? So we're gonna try real quick. Get her loose. I feel like this was designed for really, really little people. All right, there it goes. Now keep in mind, oil is gonna come out of this when you remove it, just like your car. So move your drain pan under this spot. There's a hole that they've put there, it's supposed to drain down through. All right, that's it. And while this is off, I like to take a clean rag and clean the surface that the O-ring sits on. There's no debris, so you don't get any leaks, but make sure it's a clean rag. You do not want to introduce any dirt and grime to that area. This kit is pretty nice because it has a new oil filter crusher fiber washer. So, got our OEM oil filter, 2 quarts of their synthetic PS4, and last but not least, a nice shiny copper crush washer. So one thing to do, you should always do this with your regular cars too, is put a little bit of fresh oil. Don't use the old oil, but make sure your hand's clean. A little of the new oil on your fingertip, and lube the O-ring so that it's a lot easier to go on and it makes a better seal. New filter goes on first. This is fun. You're a contortionist to do this crap. I wonder if I get it from the other side. Yeah, I guess that's a little easier. Now you shouldn't use a wrench to tighten an oil filter on. It should only be hand tight. So you either want to take your greasy glove off and use your bare hands, or put a pair of work gloves on. Get a pretty good grip on this thing. You don't want to kill it because you don't want to pinch that rubber O-ring. Just snug it up. And that's it. It's pretty good. Now we're going to take our old copper washer off. I like to save those just in case, because that one's in really good shape. And typically you can reuse them a couple times, but since they gave us one in the new kit, I'm going to use it. Okay. That guy goes on. Bam. All right. Now we are going to clean that surface as well with a clean paper towel or a rag. There we go. Now our new crush washer on our drain plug goes in. Tighten it by hand, and the spec is 12 foot-pounds. And I'm just going to tighten it to tight, not ham-fisted tight, just tight, tight. Don't want to kill it. Good. 12 foot-pounds right on the money. This is where you absolutely need to have a long neck funnel. This is a Harbor Freight special. It's like $3. Get it? Well, let me show you why you need it. Look at that. Look how far down the oil fill is. If you can somehow get a quart of oil in there without spilling it all over the place, without a long neck funnel, you're a freaking magician. But otherwise, get the funnel. Funnel goes right in, nice and easy. Something smart to do too is make sure your funnel is clean. You don't want to introduce any debris into your motor. All right. Now this thing's capacity is exactly 2 quarts. So we don't have to measure anything out. Just dump in the oil that they give you. All right. That guy out. Put our dipstick back in, clean it off first. And honestly, I don't even see the need to measure, check. We know we just took the oil out, put 2 quarts back in. Unless you did it on an uneven surface and you weren't sure you got all the oil out of the engine. That's a wrap. It's as easy as that. You know, these are great machines, and I do believe that they will run for a very, very long time as long as you take care of them. Change the oil, check the tranny fluid, check on the belt every so often. And this thing's been fantastic. That's really all there is to it. Just start it up now, check for leaks, make sure everything's good. And after the first time we run it, I would check the oil on the dipstick, make sure everything looks okay. But it's nice and easy. And as a bonus, I want to show you guys how amazingly easy it is to put the plow on this. You know, I take it on and off each year. I've gotten pretty lucky so far this year. We haven't really had any sizable snow, but I have a feeling it's coming. It's January, so I don't know. I just think it's fantastic. I don't know what the other brands do, but I think Polaris nailed it. It's so easy to take a plow on and off of this thing. So before I mount the plow, I like to typically hit everything with a little bit of silicone lubricant at the beginning of each year. Just so everything stays nice and operational. I'm not going to bore you with that, but you get it. Do all the pivot points. I love when something is well engineered, and this is. So let me show you how easy it is to mount up this plow. All you have to do is lift it up by this handle, slide the plow back until it's on those catch points. Both sides are nice and even. They make this so easy. Check this out. All you do is let out the winch a little bit, hook on, and you winch it back in. And it's locked itself in. And you just push this red lever down, and you are done. It is on. You can see from the back that the plow is engaged to the frame of the quad. And the only gripe I have with this ATV is this fair lead on the winch. It sucks. It really, really sucks. You can see the cable constantly gets caught and it like eroded part of it away, and then it doesn't wind properly. So if any of you guys have a suggestion for a replacement fair lead, please drop in the comments below, because I am definitely interested in replacing this thing, because it sucks. Well, that's a wrap. I hope this was helpful or useful to you or entertaining. If you got any suggestions on doing things better, let me know. I'm always up for learning new things. That's it. I'll see you guys on the next one.